thanks for tuning in. You're watching CGTN live streaming in Xi'an City, and I am CGTN's reporter Liu Hui. Here's the 6th China International General Aviation Convention, which opened from Thursday on October 17th. And today is the third day of the event. Yesterday, our colleagues have live streamed a very stunning air show, and now I'm here today to bring more about general aviation equipment. And here, about 500 Chinese and global companies attend the exhibition, and they're here to show the latest achievements in aviation industry. And today, I really have a lot of things to show you, including some cutting-edge new aircraft, drones, components, as well as simulators. So first of all, let's start from this one beside me. And this is a stunning simulator, and it's a replicate of Airbus 320. And today I'm gonna try it with my tutor. So joining me today is Mr. Zhang Xiaoliang, the General Manager of CFA Asia Pacific Aviation Simulation Company. So welcome, Mr. Zhang.
各位好，观众朋友们，我是西安飞行亚太航空模拟设备有限公司总经理张小亮。这是我们公司生产的 A319和 A320的飞行模拟器。那我们进去体验一下。
Okay, so let's go aboard and check it out with my tutor today. Okay, thank you.
那个座椅用这个，
Okay.
先这边，然后一般。
我们可以不动这个吗？就这样。
也可以，没问题。
So now we're in the cockpit now, and very exciting right now. Can you see all the lights here are so dreamy and feels like I'm in the real sky right now. So now Mr. Zhang will tell us what's all of those instruments here. Okay, so Mr. Zhang, could you please tell us what are these things? 这些都是什么呢？这些都是什么？
这些就是关于整个飞机就是完全仿着那个 A319和 A320那个飞机驾驶舱的整个的全套的设备，它能够就是说是每一个这个旋钮和这个面板都是有功能的。就是完全可以模拟一个真实的一个飞行驾驶舱，
就是完全1比1的是吗？
对对对。
Okay, so this is the same size ratio replicate of Airbus 320, and all the buttons here can control the whole plane. So can you tell me like what are these things, like this panel and this panel and this panel? So please, 你可以给我介绍一下这3个区域是大概干什么的吗？
主要是这一排区域是主要飞行控制和那个导航用的一些面板。
Okay, so this section is for navigation.
然后中间这一排就是有火警警告，你比如说摁这个，它会出现一些，就是可以测试我的火警现在状态是不是正常。这个是液压面板，这是油面板，这是电气面板，这个是空调面板。这边是机翼防冰啊，还有一些那个窗户的加热。这边是外部灯光，这个是内部灯光和一些那个机体安全带一些内部客舱内的信号。这边就是一个后面咱们第3个 ZAPU 的发动机的一个。
Okay, so I'll briefly tell you what are those signals are. So this is for some emergency situation happen, like fire situation, or these lights. If you press it, it can tell you that there is a situation to alarm the pilot. And this section, 这些是液压是吗？
对，这个是液压，这个是。
These are the hydraulic fuel system, and this is for 这个是空调对吗？ This for air conditioner adjustments, and these are some
飞机外部灯光。
Okay, this for the external lights control system, and this one is also for the
客舱管理一些。
Okay, for the passenger cabin. You know, those some adjustments for the passengers. Okay, so how about this part?
这一边就是跟那个就说是飞机货舱这有关的。你比如说是这个货舱是不是过热呀？这边是货舱是不是这个有各种烟雾啊？这边就是跟那个发动机这一方面，这个一般是只要它不出现异常的状态，我们一般是不会去管的。
Okay, so this section is for cargo section, and this one is to control the engines and those. And normally the pilots will not to adjust those parts. Okay, so we finished this part, and now let's move on to here, OK？ 那你可以给大家讲一下这个部分是干嘛使的？
这个部分主要就是说是飞机上的一个自动驾驶仪和这个负责这个人工调整或者是自动调整这个飞机的这个速度呀、航向呀，还有垂直高度啊，自动驾驶，还有就说是跟一些就是导航这个关系的一个面板。
Okay, so this part is actually an automatic system for control the plane and, for example, to control the direction and for the navigation and also for the plane to, for the pilots to know where the plane is heading for. Okay, 那这个部分就介绍完了是吗？好，那接下来请您给我们大家讲一下这些屏幕，大大小小的屏幕有很多，这些都是。So what are these for？
这些6个屏幕嘛，就是整个飞机的这个运行的状态都是在这个6个屏幕里能够体现出来。这2个屏幕是一样的。
Okay, so
这一部分屏幕和这一屏幕是一样，一个是机长，一个副驾驶，他们2个人是来看的啊。
Okay, so can you see the two screens in front of me, and these screens are for the pilots to know where they are heading for, and also the 2 screens here is for pilot and the co-pilot, and they are actually the same function over here. Okay.
OK. 左边这个屏幕呢，它是主要是显示的是这个飞机的姿态，还有一些飞机的速度跟高度，以及一些这个飞机发动机和这个导航啊各方面的信息，如果出现故障，它会上面有提示给机长。
Okay, so this screen is for the pilots to know the altitude of the plane and also the direction of the plane. And when the emergency situation happens, this screen will show the pilot. Okay, so how about this one?
对，这个图就是咱们所说的，就是导航图吧，类似于咱们这个汽车上的 GPS 一样。
Okay, so this section is more like a GPS system in our in the cars actually. Okay.
就是说我们如果在这个我们的飞行计算机上，如果把那个我们的飞行的路线事先规划好的飞行路线，如果要输入进去，它会在上面显示我们所要走的各种航点、各种这航线。
All right. So if you input your destination, the code of your destination, and this screen will show you where you are going to, where the plane will go.
这个屏幕就是说显示我们那个发动机的一些转速、一些参数，还有我的这个襟翼的状态是在这个方面体现。然后我现在是有多少公斤重，还有这一部分就是也是很重要的。就除了发动机的一些信息，就任何错误信息和要提示你准备要做的一些工作，都是在这个提示栏里面出现。这个是跟那个737是完全不一样的，它是很智能化、很人性化的一个东西。
Okay, so maybe our cameraman can have a closer look of this screen. So Mr. Zhang said this screen is very important, and this section is actually a to-do list for the pilot to let him know what he should do next and to check it before taking off. Okay, so how about this one?
这也是我们那个320飞机上特有的，跟737也是不一样。为啥要分开呢？因为这个是很独特的一个东西，它就是说是这个屏幕呢，是跟着底下这个面板是配合来使用的，就等于说我在这个屏幕上和我这上面这些按键，包括这个发动机啊、引气，就各种这个飞机整个机内和机外的一些系统，液压系统、电气系统和这个头顶板上这些系统，都是来通过这个屏幕来看出它这个状态是什么样子，正不正常。所以说我可以按上几个，大家可以看看这发动机也这个。
So this screen will show the situation with the plane. If you press the button here, for example, if we press the electric system, and they will show the electric system, the situation of the electric system on the plane. And if you press the hydraulic system, and it will show the situation of hydraulic system in the plane. So it's actually totally connected with this part and the screen. Okay. So maybe you can tell me something more about this huge section over here. 那你可以给我大概再说一下这个很大的这个部分是干嘛用的吗？
这一部分是为啥要放到这个位置？就是它是就是分2列，这边是那个咱们机长使用，这个是我们那个副驾驶使用。这个就是放到这边就是很快捷的，因为像这些都是基本上就说是一次设定好。 只要不出现任何情况的话，这边基本上是只要是观察它，这个地方就放到这边就很容易我们这个两个机长吧来负责操作。
Okay, so this part and also this part are actually the same section, and their separated situation is put here for pilot and the co-pilot to use it. And in normal situations, they don't usually adjust other parts, and they just adjust these parts to let the plane in the normal situation. Okay, so how about this one? What is this for? Is this gear system?
这个就是咱飞机的这个像油门吧，油门杆，但是飞机上是叫节流阀。哎，对，然后这两边是我们那个配平轮，就说是飞机它那个装货物、人物啊，还有空中的一些风啊，它飞机会倾斜会怎么样，它就靠这个来人工。但是基本上这个320这个也是不在什么紧急情况下，它就是自动来那个调整这个配平。
Okay, so normally we don't use this part. So this is actually an accelerator, and this one is actually for pilot to adjust the balance of the plane. If they want to adjust it, they can adjust it and to roll it to make the plane in a very balanced situation. And okay, so now we can move to the next part.
然后呢，这个呢是我们那个飞机上最重要的这两个部件，它这个英文缩写叫 CDU， 应该是 computer， 应该是计算机管理单元吧。
Okay.
对，它是负责整个这个飞机的这个一些航路啊、速度啊，好像是把还有天气各方面都输到这里面，然后由计算机来自动来调配你的油啊什么各种东西，非常的重要，相当于飞机的一个心脏吧。
Okay, so Mr. Zhang said these are the heart and the main part of the whole cockpit and the whole plane, because these are the computer system in the aircraft. And if the pilot wants to input some important information, and it will show the speed and also the direction and also the other informations like takeoff, the departure and destination, and so on and so forth. So these two computers are very important in this aircraft. Okay, so how about these two small screens over here? And
这两个这仪表就是它是一个纯机械的仪表，主要它是通过机外的一些传感器，是机械的传感器来够显示我飞机的状态和我现在的方位在什么地方，就等于说是，这两个仪表是，我们叫它备用仪表。为什么叫备用？像中国机长这个电影，大家可能都看过，当时这个地方已经被这个玻璃，飞出去之后，这个地方完全已经没有了，整个的电已经全部没有供应了。这个时候备用仪表就出现了它非常大的一个作用性。
Okay, so these two small screens, it looks like very small and not very, seems like not very useful, but actually these are very important parts in the aircraft, because these two screens are the mechanical system in the plane. So when all of the other parts, all of the other instrument panels lost their functions, these two mechanical systems are the only systems can be used. Maybe some of you have watched the top grossing film, Chinese film, The Captain, and in that film, Chinese hero captain Liu Chuanjian also used these two systems to manage an emergency landing and send back home over 120 people. And just in that film, maybe some of you have watched it. In that emergency situation, the windshield were broken. All the instrument panel in the aircraft lost its function, and Mr. Liu and Captain Liu used these two mechanical systems to make the plane safely. Okay, so let's keep going. 继续来说。
就说是当时没有电的时候，就是我们的英雄机长呢，就是靠这两个表和他比较坚定的这个信念吧，还有一个就是他的非常好的一个心理素质，才把我们这个乘客和这飞机安全的带回了地面。
Yeah. So Mr. Zhang just told us, this is when some emergency situation happened, and that requires a very high quality of the pilot. So Mr. Liu Chuanjian also used these two mechanical systems, and not only to use this mechanical system, it also requires a very high technology and knowledge to operate it. Okay, so what other things you want to introduce for me? 还有一些其他什么的你想告诉大家的？
一些非常重要的就是这两个面板是一样的，一个主一个副驾驶，这个是跟地面通讯的一个正面板，就是我们也是在中国机场拿它举例吧，就等于说他们在空中跟你看地面跟呼叫空中呼叫地面，包括很多天空中的飞机来联系我们这个机长飞的飞机，都是通过这个频率和这个通道来互相来那个联系。
Okay, so these two parts, this part and this part are actually the same parts, but they are also very important because this is for the pilots to communicate with other planes in the sky and also with the control tower. And also that part also occurred in the film. The captain and Mr. Liu Chuanjian also used this section, use this to input the emergency code to let the control tower know what the situation what happened in the plane. Okay, so.
Okay. 还有一个最重要一个细节在哪里？我们在电影上看到了一个这个面板，它打了7700。这个情况下就是在我们就是没有时间通过这个通话很紧急嘛，或者是通话系统坏掉了。我们只要输入7700这个代码，它会自动用于这个传给地面，地面立马知道咱们的飞机是遇到了是遇到了一个紧急情况，就任何附近的机场要全部开放。
Okay, got it. So this is also a very important part, and for the pilot to input some emergency code when some emergency situation happen. Okay, so right now we finished all this part of this airplane. So can I try to drive the plane?
没问题。
So what should I do?
你把两个脚就放到这个踏板上，然后左手放到我们这个飞行的摇杆，
Okay.
然后咱们这个右手放到这油门上，正视前方，现在我们可以把油门慢慢的推到底。
So we're gonna accelerate right now.
OK.
Are we going to take off?
咱们的闸没有开，还有一个对 OK.
Okay. Wow.
飞机已经启动。
We're going to take off very soon.
咱们这个看我们左边那个速度表。
Okay.
上到145，咱们就可以。
So when reach 140 knots.
对。偏了，脚往左往下踩，感觉了。
So we're now adjusting the direction of the plane.
也可以再往右踩点，调整一下。脚。
Okay.
往右踩，脚往右踩。非常真实。这个在起飞时候，我们这个景色会变的。全球有2万多个机场。
我们刚刚是起飞了吗？
速度有点慢，不过没有这问题，你继续。好，现在可以往上拉一点。现在这个杆往右一点，咱们是晚上起飞。
That's so exciting.
你看我们这景非常的漂亮。
So can you see the scenery over here? We can see the whole real scenery.
OK， 给你放紧1档。
So we're literally up in the sky right now, right? Okay, so can we just change those external circumstances? 我们可以改变就是外面的一些景观吗？
这个是根据我们那个你说是现在改还是？
不是，就是它这个有没有这个功能？
没有这个，因为在这个飞行过程中，它是现在是什么景，它就是什么景。但是你要是可以，就是我们可以设定一些故障，比如说下雨天啊、有风啊，这样的话能训练飞行员在这种情况下我怎么去。
I think I'm going to crash. 到坠机了是吗？
没有，你现在把摇杆松掉就行。
OK，
我来给你做。
Thank you. Okay, so just now I just tried the real experience of driving an aircraft, and as you can see, it's really exciting and it feels like I'm really totally up in the air. But actually, I'm not a really good pilot over here. So Mr. Zhang is controlling the plane for me right now. Okay, so yeah. That's very exciting. So, Mr. Zhang, maybe we can finish this part right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well,
And I like to say this aircraft is so surreal. And thank you, Mr. Zhang, for joining us. And now we are going to another section. So just now we tried the Airbus 320 simulator, and now we're going to try another simulator. Actually, after I tried this simulator, I feel like it's really difficult for every pilot to drive an aircraft up in the air, because every pilot needs to practice a lot, practice like hours and days and years in such simulators before they can be real professional pilots. And I really would like to show my greatest respect to all of those pilots for securing our lives up in the air. So now we're going to the next section to see if there's more simulators in this convention. And now we're going this way. Hi. So next, join me is Zhong Zhang from Xi'an Technology and Mechanical Industry. So welcome, Zhong Zhang.
Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Xi'an Aviation Technology Company.
So what you are going to bring our viewers today?
Okay, today, at first, I want to share with this aircraft. You know, this is the Cessna 172 aircraft made by the Cessna Aviation Company of United States. It's a single engine. Like, the engine is like Cumming, what's called a never stop engine in the world.
Okay.
Upper single wing and 4 passenger, 4 seats.
Okay.
1 pilot, 3 passengers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very good for the air show, you see.
Yeah.
And actually, you see, this is a tricycle landing gear. And this aircraft actually is the most widely used and has the most quantity production in the world and most successful aircraft. So next one, I'd like to share with you. You see, many people is waiting for fly this one.
Yeah,
it's
this
very
is a very
popular.
popular simulator.
It's very
right?
popular. It's the independently designed and produced by Xi'an Aviation Company. You see, the cockpit is the ratio is 1:1. We have all the instruments and the flight control system. You see the vision system. You just like Air Force pilot. You can do many aerobatic. You'd like to try? It's very.
I'd like to, but it seems like there are so many children waiting here.
Exciting one.
Yeah.
So waiting for the young pilots. Okay.
Thank you.
So
so
can
much.
you give a chance for this beautiful lady?
Or maybe we can.
Yeah.
try
So
this later. It's
okay. This one.
It's
Oh,
okay.
but
Maybe we can just miss this part.
just
okay.
wait for a moment.
Maybe we can.
Okay. So yes. So I'd like to try to
There's so
introduce
many people. Okay.
introduce this space airplane. It's a new one.
Yeah.
Like the name implies, the space airplane you can use the both in the air and in the space. You know, it's going to be one of the most key weapon in the world for the countries to occupy the right about the air control and space control in the 21st century.
Wow.
You know, now many countries, including China, United States, Japan, Germany, they try to make their space airplane. But actually, until now, no country has got the substantial success.
So can you tell me what's special about the tail part? Because I see there's like an engine over here.
Okay. This one is the space airplane simulator manufactured by Xi'an company. And you see this one. This aircraft,
Our
this
cameraman can show
simulator manufactured by the real, all made by the real aircraft spare parts. And you see, including the radar system, flight control system, instrument system, and the landing gear system. The purpose, we made this simulator. We try to stimulate the enthusiasm of the people and let them fly the dream.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our
That's
purpose.
a very, very great ambition for your company, right?
Yes, it's the only one in China now.
Yeah, that's
And
very great.
I want to warmly introduce another, also China-made aircraft. Most Chinese, Air Force pilots use this for their primary training, including, now very famous, our hero captain, Mr. Liu, also use this one for his ab initio training. Let's see. This is a CJ6. It made in 1950s. You see, it's also single engine, but it has 9 cylinders. 9 cylinders with the radial layout, and it's a lower single wing, also tricycle landing gear and a double pillar seats.
So
You
how
know-
many people can see?
Actually, it's 2 pilots, 1 flight instructor, 1 student pilot.
Okay, got it.
Most Chinese Air Force pilots trained by this one. And you see the fuselage is airline. Very strong airline fuselage.
So what is made of?
Yeah, means the
Material.
aviation material, but it's airline. And good news for you. This year, this aircraft has entered the civil aviation company, and it's got the we call it a type certificate and the production certificate from CAC. CAC means the Civil Aviation Administration of China. So now the common people, we can buy it as our family aircraft. It's
Yes.
very good.
Yes,
Yeah,
of course.
it can be our initial family aircraft in the future. Okay.
Okay, so that's a really stunning introduction for me. And we all know that the simulator industry in China is also booming now. So what about this simulator? Is that different from that one?
Okay. Actually, you want to try, but you see, it's too popular. Even you, a beautiful girl, you have no chance
Thank you.
to try our
Okay.
simulator.
Yeah, there's so many people here, and the China International General Aviation Convention this year actually expects to attract over 10,000 visitors this year. And as you can see, and today is also this Saturday, so
Yeah.
many people over here and try to have a chance to experience those simulators and also very like parachute simulator and so on and so forth. So, Mr. John, could you
Yeah.
please tell us what's your expectation for China simulator industry?
Yes. Very good question. For the simulator, one hand, it can be used for the professional pilot training for normal, abnormal, and emergency procedures like engine failure, engine fire, depressurization. You can use the simulator. It can reduce the company training cost, and it can improve the training quality about the pilots. And I think on the other hand, it's for common people. It's a very good way to spread the aviation culture in their flight dream. So it's going to be a new economic growth point.
Yeah, exactly. So, wow. So here is what is this for?
Oh, this is a drone, or you also called unmanned aircraft. Now it's also very hot now. You see.
Yeah. This is looks like a
They
drone
have-
competition over here,
Yes,
right?
they have fixed wing drone, helicopter drone, and multiple rotor here. It can be used for the express delivery, firefighting, especially for the high building. You got a fire, you can use this multiple rotor to do the firefighting, and military use, agriculture use. So flying is my dream.
Yeah,
It's your dream.
it's my
Also,
dream.
China
It's,
dream.
every Chinese
Yeah,
people's
also our
dream.
China dream.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you so much for
Okay,
joining
okay.
us. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
John.
Thank you very much.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for giving us
See,
exciting
nice
news.
meeting you.
Nice
Yeah.
to meet you too.
Have a nice day. Thank you.
You too. Okay, so just now we have tried those simulators, and Mr. Zhang also introduced a lot about the simulator industry and also the drone industry. And right now we're now heading to another section, and this section featured with educational activities, and it's held by an American association, Experimental Aviation Association, and there will be two pilots join me later to tell us more about what it's really like for being a professional pilot and what's the qualities required for being a professional pilot. So now let's find our pilots over here. Sorry. So right now, join me as two pilots over here. So let them to introduce themselves for a second. Could you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yes, my name is Ron Munson. I'm from the U.S. in the Chicago area, and we've come over here as part of our organization called the Experimental Aircraft Association, and we just want to show what we do in the U.S., encouraging young people to fly and build and fly our own aircraft.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining our live stream today. And next to me is Mr. Hu Liang. Could you please introduce our?
Yes, Yeah, my name is David Hu, and I'm from US as well. And actually, me and Ron are teammates here.
Okay.
We are EAA's Chapter 461 to come here to share our stories and experience the aviation, general aviation.
We're also neighbors in the U.S.
Oh,
Right,
really?
yes. We live in the
You live
same,
next door?
right,
Yes,
yes. We live,
Great. So you're now here together now.
Yeah.
For this
right,
convention.
yes, yeah. Before I didn't even know,
excellent.
before we came here, we didn't
Yeah.
even know we
Okay.
are neighbors.
So
Yes.
how about just show me what all of this exhibition about in this area?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
So you,
Can I hold it?
Yeah.
So you can just show me around. Can you just show me around and tell me like what is the whole exhibition here about? Okay.
yeah, basically the entire setup is for the to promote several stages of the airplane. So we have the World War I aircraft here.
So our cameraman can show the aircraft over here. So what is this aircraft? What's the
the-
name of it?
That's called Newport 11. It is a creation of a French designer, the aircraft designer, and it's used in the World War I as a, as you can see, there is a gun, the machine gun on the top, as a fighter airplane. But of course, that's very early age. It's about 100 years old technology and the airplanes.
So
But-
have you ever tried to drive this kind of plane?
Yes, this is flyable. It's airworthy, and it is a flyable airplane.
Just now I've tried two kinds of simulators over there, and one is a replicate of Airbus 320. And what it really feels like to fly in the sky, because most of our viewers are very curious about that. So maybe you can tell us.
Yeah, Ron, you.
Well, I absolutely love it. It's like being a bird. I have a very small plane. See, you can see a picture of it down there. It's a very. My wife says it's too small, but it fits me like a glove. And I can go loops, and I can do rolls, and I can flip, and I can just have fun. I like to go into a cloud and go around the cloud like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds very exciting.
Yeah, it's
I
very
really would
fun.
like to try if I had a chance. Okay. So when did you start to drive the aircraft?
I started flying when I was in college, in flying gliders. Those are planes without engines. It was very inexpensive to fly back then, and so I got my private pilot's license flying the gliders. Then later I added engine and various other ratings that you build up more ratings with more experience over time. And so now I own two airplanes. I own my little fun one, and then we have a four-place airplane called a Cessna 182, which is our family plane, if you want to call it that. Yeah.
That sounds very exciting. So I also heard about that you guys not only can drive the plane actually you are also able to make those aircraft. Is that right?
Yes, we
That
are builders.
That sounds really unbelievable for me, because for me, I feel like making aircraft, it sounds really like something that I can never
It's a
achieve
myth
in
to
my
you,
life.
right? It's a
Yeah,
myth
it's a
to
myth
you.
to me. So what are these for? Is this for you guys to making the aircraft?
Let's demyth for you, okay?
Okay, okay,
About
demyth
the
for me.
airplane building, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, for the metal airplane, there's one basic step is to join the metal parts together, just like you use the the nut and the bolts
Okay.
to join two pieces together. Give you an example. So, for instance, if you want to, here is a demo kit to show you how to make the metal work. See, for instance, if I have two pieces, right? I have the need, like the wings or in many parts of the aircraft, you want to join them together, right? And here's it's called a rabbit.
The rabbit.
Okay, the rabbit, if you want to join those two, of course you need to drill a hole
Yeah.
on both pieces, right? Then you stick this in, kind of pin this in, and this one is also, okay, you use a tool.
So Mr. Hu is just trying to show me how
Right.
they connect the two parts together.
Right, yes. You use this, right, yes. You squeeze that, and this thing will kind of compressed.
Okay.
Will remain here. It's like a nut. This, if you think this part is a bolt, this is a nut. After you squeeze this, it will kind of become a nut to join those two pieces together
Okay,
and
I
stay
see.
there
Wow.
and
I see.
give it strength also. Okay, that's how basically the one basic techniques to
Connective.
build the metal
Oh,
aircraft.
I see.
Okay.
So that's very basic. I mean, basic procedures.
Yeah,
Right?
the basic procedure. Yes.
Yeah. So how about those parts? So I can see there's a huge plane over there. Is that a model of the?
No, it's a real
aircraft?
airplane, just like
Oh.
that one. Just
Oh,
unfinished
right.
yet. It's just you can see. Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like a fish.
Like a
yeah.
fish.
Yeah, like a fish. They have bones inside.
Yeah, maybe
See
our
here?
cameraman can show this part here.
Yeah. See, this is a wing. This
So
is a wing.
maybe
right?
we can have a closer look of it.
Yeah. This is a wing, the ribs, and there's the skins on top of this make the wings just like that. That is covered.
Yeah.
That's a finished product. This is the frame.
So this is
for
a
that.
frame of the aircraft and
The wing. Yes,
wing, the-
exactly.
yeah.
See, this is the parts. They come in like that. For our
Okay.
builders, we can buy those from
so
the
these
manufacturer.
are actually the same parts over here,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, right. I
See?
see.
Yeah. You see that?
Yeah, I see that.
Okay,
That's
there are a lot
great.
of that. You line them with the spars here and join them together. Use that rivets.
Oh, so maybe our cameraman can show.
Yeah, you see the
details
skin
of
right
this.
here. It's the same like over there, right? Here.
So all of these are the rivets, right?
Right. Yes, that's how you join this skin and this ribs,
Okay,
right?
that's cool.
Yeah, that's how you know. Of course, you need to add the engine and the seat and the control system.
Oh, this is the control
That's
system.
a control system. Yeah.
Okay. So that part is the engine system.
Right, this is the engine. This is the engine. Okay, this is the landing gear, and this is the you call stick. It's actually you kind of because in the aircraft you push forward to go down, and pull it to make it fly up, climb, and if you want to turn, you bank.
Okay.
You either left or right. That's a one stick. You do all four motions.
To
right?
control the direction, right?
Right.
This airplane is specifically designed to land where there's no airport.
Oh, really? So
Right.
it can be
Yes.
it can take land on the grassland.
On grass, and look to see how big the tire is. It can
Oh,
land.
yeah.
It can land in places you can't walk.
Really?
Big rocks and so I think it says Alaska. Does it say Alaska on the side? So in Alaska, so many people have these type of airplanes because there's no airports or very few airports, very mountainous terrain, and so they fly their planes from one village to another just to get supplies, equipment, medicine, and so they use these types of planes in that environment.
Wow, that
Yeah.
sounds very, very new to me. Some new knowledge for me as well. Yeah, okay. So just now, you have shown me how to adjust those parts and to make the plane, and that was actually a frame of the plane, right?
Right, yes.
And honestly speaking, I've learned a lot because before it feels like a very, unrealistic thing
Okay.
to make a plane, to make a
okay.
plane.
It's
But
like
you
a black-
guys,
a magic
yeah.
box. You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
how it
Now
turned out
the
to
magic
be
box
fly
has
in the
been
sky,
opened.
right?
Yeah.
A pile of metal, so suddenly it's in the air, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, yeah.
So the whole exhibition here is for the young generations to learn more about the procedures of making the aircraft, and also to let them to know more about the aviation industry. Exactly,
Yeah.
right?
One of the things that we do in the U.S. as part of the Experimental Aviation Association is we have a program called Young Eagles.
Okay.
And what it is, it's volunteers who volunteer their own airplanes to fly children for free. So the kids can come out, any kid between the age of 8 and 17 can come to the airport on Young Eagles Day and get a free airplane ride. And we're just trying to get them encouraged.
So
to
is this
be
the
flyers.
first time for you guys to come to China to do such program?
Yes, it
It's
is
very
for me.
first time
Very first
in-
It's the
time.
first
in
time,
China,
right?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm very glad to have you guys to come here and to show me all of those procedures. And I hope that more and more children and teenagers in China, especially if you are in Xi'an, please come here and you will never regret about this experience. And now join me, Mr. Hu Liang is going to tell me something more about his own experience of making the plane. Okay.
Okay.
So thank you.
You're
so
very
much.
welcome.
Thank you
Very
so
welcome.
much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So now, Mr. David will tell me more about his own experience.
Okay, yeah, I'm a pilot, but at the same time, I'm a builder. Builder means I build my own airplane, just like this one is what I built. Just it started from like a pile of aluminums, like there, you have seen that, and eventually I built up like an airplane, like just it's flyable, to fly fast and far.
I heard that you used like 10 years for making the aircraft. Is that right?
Yes, yes. I spent 10 years, of course, on and off. It's not all the time. Sometimes I'm just getting too lazy. Maybe I don't do anything. But sometimes, because I have a job, so I have to use my spare time to do that. So that stretches long. Precisely, I used 2,500 hours to build up.
Oh, 2,500 hours.
2,500 hours. Yes, yeah. That's roughly, in average, it takes that long to anyone, for anyone to make an airplane like that.
So before that, what kind of motivation, inspired you to do such thing?
I think the passion for flying. Okay, because of course flying, there are two aspects. You have to be a pilot, then you have to have an airplane to fly, right?
Yeah.
The human being, unfortunately, we don't have wings. We cannot fly, right? You need an airplane. So yeah, usually there are two type of pilots. One, they know how to fly, but they buy the airplane, they fly that. But some, I wouldn't say it's extreme, but it's kind of crazy type of pilots. They not only fly, but they want to build the airplane for themselves.
Yeah, that sounds very exciting to me. So what's your expectations to our young generations in China? Because in China, most of the young people, they're just curious about it, and they don't necessarily have so many chances to learn more about the aviation industry. And this convention is actually a great opportunity for them to learn about the aviation industry. And also, as you mentioned, your program also is a very good chance for the young generation. So what's your expectations for the young generations in China?
Yes, I just want to say to our young generation, one thing is don't think the flying is kind of just for elites. Okay, actually, we call the grassroots, pilots. You can do that. Everyone can do that if you have the passion. Like me, I don't have any background in aviation. My major is in electrical engineering. Okay, and I work with a big telecommunication company. It has nothing to do with the airplane, but I can do it. So, like me, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. So ordinary people can also achieve their aviation dream. Is that right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Mr. David. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much. Okay. So just now, we have learned a lot about how to making an aircraft, and also Mr. David also introduced to us what it's really feeling like to drive a real aircraft over here. And he also told our young generations in China to keep your dream and keep your flying dream and to do it, because everyone, if you have the passion for aviation industry, and we can achieve your dream someday. So just now we were at the creative and innovative section, and now we're here at the section which featured with China's self-developed machines and aircrafts and components. So right now, for those who are just joining our live stream, you are now at the Shanxi province, and this is the China International General Aviation Convention, which happened from Thursday to next Monday, and this is the third day of this event. And the whole convention has 6 display parts. And now we're heading to the part of China's self-developed aircraft. So right now, this one in front of me, this is the armed vehicle and with the helicopter on it. And this actually has been showcased during this year's China's military parade. And these are totally self-developed by China. So our cameraman can give you guys a very close look at it. Okay, so if you're watching our live stream, you can also comment below on our Twitter and Facebook or YouTube website to let me know which equipment they interest you most. And now we're heading to another part of today's convention. And right now you can see a lot of people is gathered over here. And they're here to watch a video about an unmanned aircraft over here. So this convention has really attracted a lot of people, including aging from all ages and all walks of life, and they are all aviation lovers to come here and to feel this atmosphere. And now we can see here are two types of unmanned aircraft over here. And this one is a large-scale, multiple-role, high subsonic unmanned transportation platform. So this unmanned aircraft is actually for transportation usage. And the other one looks much bigger. So this is also an unmanned aircraft. And these two aircrafts are all used for transportation. So like what I just mentioned before, the unmanned aircraft industry is actually growing recently in China. And by the end of 2018, more than 3,000 unmanned aircraft has been registered in China. And now we're now heading to another section to have more knowledge, to learn more knowledge about China's general aviation industry. Okay, so now we're here for the, it's this way. Actually, China's general aviation industry is also booming in recent years. And according to a report by Civil Aviation Administration of China, by the end of 2020, the total general aviation fleet in China will reach 5,000, and also the total flight hour will reach 2 million. Okay, so now we're here at another company. 你好，就刚才那个。当时直播。对，是直播。我没这水平啊，我。您是Okay, so join me. 您是金杰吗？对。So join me is 金杰, the general manager of the G Aero Technology Group. So thank you for joining us, Mr. Jin. Thank you so much.
It's my honor. Thank you.
Okay, so could you please have a very general introduction about what's this exhibition about? 可以简单跟我们说一下，就是你们这个展示，主要有些什么东西吗？
I am the general manager of G Aero Technology, and this time, the fifth time we've been here for the China International General Aviation Conference, Xi'an. And
so could you please tell us what is the Xi'an table? What does this present for? Like. Okay, so could you please give our viewers a very short description about this Xi'an table?
Okay, so we think it is very important to teenager aviation sense spreading, popularization. This Xi'an table is a real airport from Xi'an Airport. So,
So this is a replicate of Xi'an International Airport.
Yes. So you can find the layout of the runway, taxiway, and terminal building, control tower is real element from the real airport. So children can directly know, find the how the real airport operate and control.
Okay, so this is actually for civil aviation, 这是民航
Yes,
来用的。
yes, yes.
So how about could you please tell us the general situation in China, like for the general aviation airport？ 您对通航的那些机场，可以给大家介绍一下，就目前行业里面的一些简单的状况吗？
So I think general aviation in China is just a very beginning of this industry. The Western country and United States, Japan, their general aviation industry mostly come from the Second World War. And they have almost 100 years experience of how to manage the industries and the technologies, also airport and fleet quantity. So China has a long way to go, but it is very good that the government and the national aviation authorities they issue more and more simplified policy or regulations. So the general aviation in recent years in China gradually grows up. I think in quite maybe 5 years, we will have about 10,000 aircrafts of general aviation and maybe 1,000 general aviation used airport. So it means we will have 5 times comparing with current numbers. So at the time, everything will change greatly.
So how many general aviation airports right now in China? 就现在我们的通航机场有多少
Maybe 150.
Okay.
And
But
it
there will,
includes some,
but there will be
military,
more,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
There will
yeah,
be
yeah.
more. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much. And
Thank
how
you.
about this helicopter? What is the giant helicopter for? 这个直升机是干嘛用的？
So J Aero is the civil aircraft maintenance staff training organization. Our policy is to train and practice on the real and modern aircraft. So this large turbo engine helicopter is for training use.
Okay, so is there anything you want to say about the future of the general aviation industry?
I think if we keep on to make our own company and team strong, so we will have a bright future.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you so much,
Thank you.
Mr. Zin.
It's my honor.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, so actually we still have one more guest, and let me see if he's here right now. Okay, so just like what Mr. Jin just said before, the general aviation industry in China is booming in recent years. And also, by the end of 2018, there were like 200 general aviation airports in China. And according to the report of Civil Aviation Administration of China, by the end of 2020, there will be like 500 general aviation airports in China. So as you can see, China is really emphasizing in developing this area, and also for general aviation industry, this is all a very emerging strategic economic point for China. And I really hope that you can learn a lot about China's aviation industry through our live stream today. And actually, there are so many other things for the visitors to have a look about it. But due to the limit of time, we don't have time to see every equipment here. And so now maybe this is the end of our live stream today. And I hope you guys have learned a lot about it. And if you are still interested in China's general aviation industry, please keep following our coverage in the next following days. And also, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much to watch this live streaming. And this is CIGAC's reporter Liu Hui. Thank you.